I want to acknowledge our mayor. He is here, and he's been a great supporter of this event. He is the one that commissioned this effort. Certainly supported it its first year with Mary, the first Mayor's House, and Native Sons, as a big effort for 150th. Mayor, would you like to say anything?
I think this is an opportunity where we're going to show the whole community that this is a whole community event. It's not run by just a couple of people that run the Mayor's House, or by Councilmember McShane, or by the mayor. We've got the school districts, we've got everybody involved. California Rodeo folks are here. Come on, folks. This is going to be a City of Salinas event, and there are going to be people wishing they had gotten involved when they see it when they arrived at it. That's what it's about. It's about the people involved. Wes is here. He's representing some of the homeless coalition people. Think about that. You know, this is a whole community doing this, and that's what's going to make it work. There are going to be people that are not, because they're not here, they'll want them to come next year. Well, we'll let them work on it next year. We're going to make this year the home run, and then we'll see how we feel. Because this is feel good to work with. I think it's going to be awesome.
Thanks to the mayor's support, the city is hosting our website. The city is also one of our major contributors to the event, and certainly as Greg is here on behalf of the city as well, they've been essential in getting our mapping and planning and logistics taken care of. We always start with introductions, so your name, your organization, and something you look forward to, very briefly, most in Founders Day for 2018. So, first. I'll say Steve McShane, chair of this event, and I represent the Salinas City Council, and I'm very excited about the connection with a Dust Bowl vehicle that looks like we'll be able to put on display. Maybe even more than one. So we like a good car show, and an antique vintage car like that would be really neat. Really excited.
All right, I'm Norm Groot with Monterey County Farm Bureau, and I guess what I look forward to is learning the history, because I've only been here 7 years, so I don't have that much institutional knowledge about the city of Salinas. It's been great to learn through this process too.
I'm Carl Christensen. I conduct Monterey County Pops. We've been here for the last 3 years with a 5-piece group, and we look forward to coming back with a 20-piece group this year on music stage.
I'm Gary Berskini, Monterey County Historical Society, and we've been here the previous 2 years as well, and we look forward to having a big crowd this time.
Awesome. Thank you.
John Morrison from Community Development Department. I'm real happy to see it continuing and getting bigger after the first 2 years.
Thank you for being here.
Hello everyone, my name is Richard Gavin. I'm from Salinas City Elementary School District, and I'm excited for all the work that's been going into the planning of our school section and youth section. I have some stuff going on right now, but I think a lot of the good parts is going to be when we start planning on all of our performances and a lot of our fun little booths that we have for the kids, so I'm excited for that. So.
My name is Mary Randall, and I'm most looking forward to people in Salinas actually knowing that we have a history and that it's a really cool history that they can be proud of. That we didn't just turn up here, but that everyone who lives in Salinas was an immigrant in this generation or a previous one. And that we have a proud history that we should be celebrating.
I'm Mandy Lindquist with the California Rodeo Salinas, and I'm excited. I guess a lot of us are talking about kids, but I'm excited for the rodeo to be a part of it since we are 108 years old, and also to help entertain the kids that are here and help them learn about the history.
I'm Kerry Pearson, the Native Sons of Golden West, and exactly what they just said, history, that's what I'm into, and hopefully we'll teach these people a little bit about their history.
I think it's bringing the community together and the history, and the kids learning about the history that they're going to carry forward, because some of us may not be here the next 50 years.
Well, as I recall, I grew up here, and I'm here to see and understand, because I have a lot to learn. Thank you.
I'm Wes White. I guess I'm a fourth generation Salinian. I'm just looking forward to having a lot of fun.
I'm Carol Lee Garcia. I'm with the Arts Council for Monterey County, and I'm really excited to be partnering with Salinas City Elementary School and working on performances and having the children learn more about their history.
history of Salinas.
I'm Tom Town with the Salinas Valley Chamber of Commerce, and I'm with Mary. I'm just glad that we could have something where people understand there is history and what it is.
I'm the Mason, curator of the Monterey County Railroad Museum, and we're looking forward to more people finding out about us and all the history that we have to tell at the Railroad Museum. I'm sure the mayor's house feels the same way, and the more exposure we can get, the happier we are. And we're both free admission, which is important.
Nancy Montana with the Steinbeck House, and I've been here about 10 years, so I've learned the history of the Steinbeck House, but I know nothing about Salinas. So I want to learn the history, I want to have fun, just all of the above.
Jeff Wardwell, I'm the president of the Salinas Valley Memorial Hospital Foundation. My grandparents came here during the Dust Bowl, so we've been around a while, and I love Salinas and just want to help out. So I'm excited to be here with you guys.
Greg Knowles, I'm looking forward to being there as a retiree. I'm retiring December 29th from the City of Salinas, and so I'm looking forward to see the great founders there.
Dave Clark, private citizen, looking forward to seeing if Western Stage can do a performance as the first mayor giving a town hall meeting right here in this building rather than having a lecture, rather than just somebody else talking about it. Put some actors out here addressing the period, having a town hall meeting, you know, and discussing what's going on in the city of Salinas.
Thank you. So just as a matter of an overview, most of you have heard this or if you've read the notes, and there is a sign-up sheet or sign-in sheet going around. So just make sure you sign in. It's like attendance. So the vision for this event is the 14th. There's some activities leading up to it. We have a wonderful dinner at the Steinbeck House that we're planning. There's also some tours that the Salinas City Elementary School District is working on with Lincoln and Roosevelt. But ultimately, it's one day to celebrate the city's 150th. And it's come under some discussion as to whether it's the 147th or the 151st and when the streets were laid out. We've decided we're calling it the 150th. And it's important to note that we're concurrently celebrating the history of many of the organizations that help make Salinas what it is, like the Rodeo, for example. And also, it's important to note, this is the 100th year that the Farm Bureau has been around, this is the 100th year that the Chamber of Commerce has been around, the 100th year that the Rotary Club of Salinas has been around, and the 150th year that our Salinas City schools have been around. So there's some really important other ancillary activities that kind of coincide. So with that, we have a little less than an hour here to report out on how this event is progressing. And if you're here for your first time, by signing in, you'll get the notes. And the notes capture who's in charge of what area and kind of what the important developments are there. And we're really counting on each of the folks in charge of different areas to play their part. Certainly for organizations like the Chamber, the Farm Bureau, the Rodeo, we're just looking forward to not just promotion and that partnership, but any role that can be played to help bring some of the other historical displays that you may have to bear, which is good. I always like to start out with our budget and our finance. And fortunately, our finance director has also aided in getting our map together for our footprint. So we'll kind of catch two birds with one stone. Tom's been instrumental. We did set up a nonprofit banking account at Rabobank. We have a deposit in there. We have commitments for sponsorships already coming in, which is great. Tom, would you like to say a few things about just where the budget's at? And then you could maybe even just go into the map if you'd like.
Yeah, well, for the budget, I didn't receive any additional expenses from anyone, so if anyone is anticipating having any expenses going forward with whatever, renting tables, whatever you can think of, just email that or Steve and let us know, so I can add those to the budget, and at this point it doesn't matter.
Okay.
But, yeah, if you know what they do, so the budget hasn't changed since the last time, except for
And if it's fair to say, by the end of the year, I know Carl will have some expenses with performers. We have this potential to bring the Dust Bowl exhibit, obviously tables, chairs. Patty has some numbers she's discussed with me, so let's really try to get that together by the end of the year, right? I think.
And staging.
Staging, yeah.
All that stuff is gonna kind of fall into
Yeah.
place. Yeah, maybe.
Okay.
Right now, I just have placeholders on the budget for numbers.
Okay.
So, and then, after last meeting, Mary and I sat here and we penciled out some changes to the map. I hope I've got most of them correct. And if we need to change something, that's fine. It's easy enough to do. So if we look at, what I tried to do basically was make sure that we were barricading off the area where people were going to be. So on the right side of the map, over near the kids zone, that there's an exhibit area, a stage, and the barbecue will be what's going to barricade off. And then the yellow barricades are ones that will have the city lights. The yellow lines.
Yep.
So then beer and wine's going to go right there into center near that first barricade, and we can have exhibit booths all the way down, parallel to the bus loading, all the way to the end. There's no reason we could take up both sides of that seat for exhibitors. And then there's just exhibit booths everywhere. I think we covered the barbecue area well enough, Carrie. Are you okay with that? Yeah. It looks like, you know, we made the line go all the way around, so you have that whole row for parking in front of your barbecue area. Okay, good.
Yes.
And then this entire area off below in the blue is for handicap parking, so that whole, I think that line is separate. And that's actually a requirement of our provision.
The red arrows going through the parking lot, you know, the city does not own that lot, and I just wonder if anybody's talked to the property owner about using it that day.
Well, that would be Tampsy.
Tampsy usually doesn't use that, we need a permit from Tampsy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but
Okay.
that's used in years past.
Okay.
All right, let's just put that on our checklist to reach out to them.
And I can reach out to Tampsy.
Okay, thank you very much. Thanks for putting that up there.
And the railroad is happy with, I guess that's what the bus loading and unloading? To get people to the.
They said that would be fine since the time there's very few buses that come and go, and they said as long as we blocked off that entire road, that we're just moving them over to the other side of the island. So.
Where's the majority of the parking going?
That's a good question. You know, in years past, maybe we could chat about that. The structure, maybe the mayor had a comment, or Mary, but you know, it's going to be street and surface parking. You know, lot, is it 10?
Well, right over here in front of the old granary building.
Yes.
That parking lot will be available.
Okay.
And I've got a call in to work with the Catholic Church over there to see if we can use that as well.
Good.
And there's a city lot down here too.
There's a Lennon lot in the back.
Oh, right.
Because that's a sizable lot.
It's a very big lot, yeah. Mission, and then also the sanitary supply.
American Supply.
Yeah. Anybody have connections at either Mission or American Supply?
Yeah, American Supply.
Okay, if you want to call them, Greg? Okay.
Yeah.
I'll call Mission.
Oh, that'd be great, Nancy, okay.
You think we can get free parking in the garage on that day? When
Well,
it's-
wouldn't that be neat?
Yeah, I know. I talked to somebody.
Do we know somebody, Greg? You're retiring in another few weeks.
Yeah, we know somebody, Steve.
Yeah, I figured you did.
I'll find out before I retire.
All right, thank you, Greg. Notice how the next meeting I'm proposing is right before your last day.
Yeah.
Utilize those resources, Steve.
Yeah. You know, Mary, last year's attendance, 2,000?
How about that?
You know, we're shooting for
10. Yeah.
I don't think you're going to have a problem getting 10.
I don't either.
We're, you know, the Salinas City Elementary School District activities alone, their big event, their spring event is taking place here. So that alone draws, 4 or 5. Yeah, 4 or 5.
Yeah.
So we're looking good.
Any lakes or anything you have started or anything, can you send those up to everybody so we can send them on our own websites and things like that?
You better believe it. And that's part of the report. We have a website, we have a Facebook group now, so yeah, we'll get to that. anything else on the map? Tom and Mary, thank you very, very much. If there's no other feedback on the map, then, okay. Yeah, that's good. Got it, yes. So quick question on the lecture area. So right now we have 3 stages there. And don't let the size of the square mislead you. One of the stages was talked about being the lecture stage.
Something we can be darker.
Yeah, I understand that. Well, this room's available. We talked about using either a tent or a larger sort of forum for that. So we can follow up on that. But Tom, we'll need to identify which stage is which. I think the main stage is where we're going to do most of the music. And then that leaves us the other 2 stages, one being kind of the Salinas City Elementary School District stage, and then the other being the lecture stage.
And Mary just reminded me that the stage that's in the parking lot near the handicap has got to be over near the First Mayor's house because of the electricity.
Oh, because it's part of the kids' zone. That's where the kids are performing.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, so we're going to move that.
Okay, wait just a minute.
To in front of, just a little south of the Mayor's house.
Okay, thank you for that correction. So then that leaves us with, currently the way it's laid out now, the stage by the railroad exhibit. But that again is an outdoor venue, so we need darkened. This room has been used for years past, and obviously these would have to be blacked out somehow. I'm trying to think if the warehouse would provide the opportunity. You know that's now under construction, I think, Greg. Will it be?
It's full of stuff. What about the old Amtrak right there? That space is not been rented out yet?
I'm sorry.
Is that available right there?
It might be.
Okay.
Okay. So why don't we follow up with Gary on the lectures? The lectures are a key part, and ultimately that could open up another stage for something. And maybe even there's some outdoor lectures and some indoor lectures. I don't know. Everybody's different in how they run their show. But we'll definitely follow up on that. Thank you, Grace. Gary.
We do have electrical connections
Okay.
with the rail cars.
Cool.
Somebody has extension cords.
Awesome. Okay.
We provide power to the stations right there.
Okay. Any other commentary on the map? This is good. One question I know Patricia will ask is how many booth spaces we've got. And I know we've pasted off here and there, but pretty soon we'll have to get a more precise idea. Based on just my general looking at this, is there's at least 100.
Yeah.
There's a lot. 10 by 10 is the size. Yeah.
I need to add something to that. For the fire department, they have a new regulation that after 7 10 by 10s, they want an empty clear space of 10 by 10.
Got it.
That makes sense.
Okay. Thank you for that clarification. So
what would be helpful for you is me to go back and block these out at 10 by 10 with a blank in between.
Oh, yes.
Okay, I can do that.
yeah, and then if it's even possible to number them,
Yeah.
that way she's able to say your booth assignment is this, and the map is on the web, and have a nice day.
Okay.
Yeah, or which
The next map will.
Yeah. Okay. Just a second to give Tom some love. Great job. For yourself. Representing our Chamber of Commerce and our historical community, thank you. So just jumping into various reports. And some of you may have seen from the notes that have gone out, and each of the different people that have roles here. We covered the map, we covered the finance piece. I think we got just a teaser before the meeting started about the food. There will obviously be food booths, as Patricia will handle that, but of course the main event is the Native Sons barbecue. Do you want to say anything about that, Karen?
I'm just trying to like a half chicken barbecue with beans, salad, bread, and probably going to drink. I'll have some tickets at the next meeting, and we'd like to try to pre-sell as much as you can so we can get a better idea of what we're going to actually need. So next meeting, I'll bring some tickets for everybody, pass them out, and You know, if you want to, if my email is in the emails, if you want to send me, say, hey, I think I'll need 100 or I'll need 50, give me an idea what we're going to need right off the bat, so I can have those tickets for you at that time.
Cool.
Awesome. What's the price?
Or
have you?
Yeah, well, it's been like about 12 or 13 bucks in the past. Yeah, I might throw in a drink and make it 15 or something.
Yeah. Pretty reasonable.
Yeah. Cool. Good. And that will go all to the Native Sons. They've been a great partner in this. Thank you. Beverage. I know we have some downtown Rotarians in here. Last I heard from Kelly McCarthy Sutherland, she is counting on having beer and wine available. So as we go through the permitting process, we're going to apply for this district to be open for business when it comes to beer and wine in open containers.
Do you want us to carry the sodas and waters then?
If you could, that would be great. Now, looking at Patricia, I'm sure that there will be there'll be others that sell sodas and water. So just don't kill yourself.
Well, something that would be good to know is that we just have how many each category of vendors we like.
Yeah.
That way when I'm out recruiting, I kind of get an idea of how many.
And we'll talk about that. Once we get the number of spaces and we have a real good handle on the estimated attendees, then we'll really trust on Patricia to break that down. She runs 3 major events, farmers markets types events with hundreds of vendors in Santa Cruz, Santa Clara, and now Monterey County out of the rodeo grounds. So yeah. We sort of have in our application that she'll be sharing briefly, that it's our discretion to decide which vendors make it, which ones don't. So yeah, okay. But back to the beverages again: beer and wine, downtown Rotary. Yeah.
Are they going to handle armbands or wristbands?
Yep, they're in charge of everything. They're the whole thing. They get to keep the profits. They got to make sure that there's plenty of booze and that it's handled appropriately. Okay, good. Yeah. Okay, pre-tours. Rick, do you want to cover that at all? I mean, I know we kind of covered it last.
We're actually still in the planning process of that. Roosevelt and Lincoln both are ready to go. It's just having to go through the logistics right now is kind of the next step. Our superintendent is out right now in San Diego, so we haven't been able to work on it this whole past week. So she'll be back next week, and hopefully we can start planning that.
Cool. Leading up to the event's on the 14th. The dates that we have tentatively right now are the 10th and the 12th. Those would be, call them receptions, events at Lincoln and Roosevelt where the students would play a lead role, whether it be acting or art or activities. The community would be invited, so we're counting on that. It's also worth recognizing Mary and the First Mayor's House as well. Do you have the dates for your pre-conference?
Yes.
What are those as well? Because I think as we go live with this, we definitely want to include that as well.
So Saturday, February 24th.
Okay.
9 to 12. At Roosevelt School, which is the oldest school site in Salinas. There's a school on that site where Roosevelt is now since 1871.
Boy, okay.
And we have a fashion show, we have some students singing, we have some dance groups, and we have some, in between that, we have some, what were people thinking about? What were the big hot topics? Sure. And Anita's one of our speakers, and we're looking forward to talking about what was education, what were the political issues, what were the education issues, what were the immigration issues. So it'll be kind of a conversation. I think it'll be fun.
Okay. And leading up to the event, and this is kind of jumping a bit, we have a Founders Day dinner that we're working on at the Steinbeck House. Do you want to touch on that at all?
Yeah, April 12th. And what I thought I would do, I've been researching a lot of the different wineries, and I thought I would get like 4 or 5 of the old wineries in Monterey County and see if each one will donate per, like for the entree, the beef, the soup, stuff like that. So I'll be working with some of the wineries on that. And it's going to be $70 a person inclusive, tip and tax and everything. We'll have appetizers and we'll all be sit down. We'll have our gift shop open for anyone who would like to go through.
Great.
So hopefully it's nice.
Be sure to contact Shalom, they're the oldest, I think, and they have new management. Very
Oh, okay.
enthusiastic, new
Okay, good.
management.
Technically, the oldest was on then.
What is
So
it?
that's what I'm saying. Benita County, they bought out the first vineyard from the 1850s.
Well, I went up on the web and I just went in, the oldest winery in Monterey County, and it came up as the Smith family.
Jeez. Maybe that's where the vines are.
Winery or vineyard.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So we'll figure it out. $70. The sooner that you have a link or some way to purchase the tickets, the better. So we can put that on our site and stuff. But there you have it. So leading up to the main event is going to be good. I want to take a pause for just a second and take a second to introduce a few other people. So we're doing name, organization, and something you're most excited about for Founders Day. If this is new news to you, Founders Day is on the 14th. There's some events leading up to it. We can start with our director of vendors right there.
Hello, I'm Patricia Rodriguez. I'm a local farmer and organize different markets in the area. And I think what I'm most excited about is that this is something different than what I'm used to doing and just bringing a lot of different unique vendors together. It'd be nice to really
Oh, okay. I'm Edith Baxter-Rice. I'm the new director of the Art Center that's in CSUMB at Salinas City Center. And I'm really excited about this whole event, and we have some creative ideas for projects that we think will be supportive of it as well. So.
We will be hearing more from Enid a little bit later in the meeting. We have some good stuff.
We'll be hearing more from you.
I am Teresa Slayton, and I am the director of CSUMB at Salinas City Center, and I work with Enid alongside her. And I'm excited to work with all of you on this Founders Day project.
Fabulous. So good that you're both here. Okay, so moving right along, the day of, we'll have tours, the Railroad Museum, as well as the first Mayor's House will be open, and then the Steinbeck House as well.
But for ours, it's only between 9 and 11 because that Saturday is a tea day and they don't give them their tea.
When time's the tea end?
The teas are about 12 and 2.
Oh, okay.
So, you're looking at 4 o'clock.
Okay, got it.
But now if we wanted to do one the Sunday before, we could do that if you want to start something.
No, we got enough on it. This is getting
We're basically going to go with self-guided visitors, browse. It's an organized guided tour takes upwards of an hour and 15 to an hour and 30 minutes. And in past Founders Days, we've had in excess of 300, 400 visitors. 4 signed up for a guided tour.
All right, got it.
Like at 10 o'clock in the morning. Y'all got so many things going on between the music stage, the photo stage, the lectures, the vendors, food. Nobody's going to devote an hour and a half to the Railroad Museum on that.
You'll be open all day.
Yeah, we'll be open. They come through at their leisure, and in past years they've come back the following month or 2 months later and taken their time to actually go through the facility. Everything's basically self-guided. It all has
ready to go.
It has explanatory signs on. And
you'll be open for business all day.
Yeah, we'll be open. We'll be there. We won't have docents.
And the first Mayor's House also.
Oh yeah, we'll be open for a docent in every room.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah.
We'll have people there who can answer any specific questions somebody might ask.
Great.
As far as formal tours, that never worked out in the past.
No, that's gonna be great.
Thus, people can get as much information as they want, and we'll probably have some activity stations. When the kids come, we make butter and wash socks, but we're probably going to do sachets and herbal sachets and things like that. So.
Perfect. Okay.
Steve, what are the hours of the event?
9 to 3. 9 to 3. Yeah, important. Thanks for asking that, Jerry. Next up, entertainment. I know Carl has been working slowly but surely on a lineup. And obviously we've got to kind of work in concert, no pun intended, with the City Elementary School District. Carl, anything you'd want to just report on at this point?
Well, I see that, first of all, my email is still on. It's 93906. moved out to 08, but my heart is still in 06, so I'm not doing 06. Got a couple more groups. I see you put down a sort of an opening ceremony or something at 11. I request a little subcommittee or something to figure out how that's going to work. Okay. Well, we can have music before. If 9 o'clock is the opening, we'll have somebody playing. Somebody on from 9 until 3. But in past years, we've had kind of a opening ceremony. Yeah. We'll have them city song.
Anybody have any preferences? What time should we have the opening ceremony? 9? 10?
11 seemed to work.
11? Yeah, okay. 11 a.m. and I'll work with you on that.
Okay, great.
Cool. And obviously, there's the 3 stages, one of which, actually a fourth one, or the third one being lecture. It's music, the Salinas City Elementary School District, and then lecture. So we talked about getting the lecture stage appropriately placed. And I've just asked that anybody working on those stages keep Carl in the loop. Okay, all right. So moving on to vendors, we've taken a giant leap forward. If you got the email, and I brought just a few. I don't know, you may brought some copies as well. People can share it. Patricia, do you want to talk about our application?
Well, the application is, just okay. We would be able to collect just basic information from each vendor. And then like Steve mentioned, at the end we can kind of go through them and choose what the vendors that we feel would be appropriate for this event. And I am planning as soon as possible, or whenever we can get that map with numbers, meet with all the different departments and just show them what we're doing, just so we're on the same page, and that day we don't have any issues with any of the departments. So that's my plan, that the sooner I can, meeting with everybody, letting them know what, this is what we're doing, number of vendors. And then as we approve vendors, individually going through and making sure that they have all of the requirements needed for them to, sell or do whatever they're doing here that day.
Cool. She's got, I think, 3 copies there. So anybody that has a knack for looking at these sorts of documents, take them. They also went out via email, and when our website goes live in another few days, they'll be available online. They're pretty well written. I gotta hand it to Patricia. I mean, she does this a lot. There's pretty good deadlines associated with this. Descriptions, hold harmless. We're collecting a fee. Even a nonprofit or an artist, which is discounted, would pay $40 or $50. Vendor space is $75 or $100, depending on if it's on time or not. Food vendors a little bit more, $160 or $200. So, and those deadlines being the end of January for what we're asking, and then the late being the end of February. Patricia's got a database of a lot of vendors and people that trust her because she runs these big events, and I think that'll help. But there will also be vendors that have come before. And certainly any of our partner organizations, whether it's the Chamber, the Farm Bureau, the Monterey County Historical Society, it'll be very important that you fill this out. One of the things we talked about is that for our partners that have been showing up at these meetings, they're not being charged if you want a booth. I think that's fair for your time. So if you're a partner organization and you've been at one of these meetings and you want a booth, you can certainly apply. That doesn't mean you're going to get a booth, because we are going to look very closely and make sure that we have to balance everything. But I really want to reach out to the Rodeo, to the Historical Society, to the POPs, to the Farm Bureau, to the Chamber. I hope that you can have a booth. CSUMB, maybe you can even get the mascot. We can have Ollie. Monty out here.
I will check Monty's calendar.
Yeah. Check Monty's calendar. I just want to acknowledge, Patricia, this is a lot of heavy lifting. All of these applications, as of right now, are paper, unfortunately. I'm going to see if the web could be set up such so that an electronic form gets emailed right to her. But as of right now, it's going to 119 East Alisal, which is our friendly Chamber of Commerce office, with a check. So anyhow, enough said about that now. Electronic payment and registration online is something we're working on. a historical event, so it's a paper. Okay, questions or thoughts on vendors? Yeah.
I have a question. How are you going to lay out the vendors in the very different spaces? Are you going to allow them to choose where they want to be, or are they going to be grouped by category so that you don't have the solid waste authority next to a food booth?
We'll leave that up to Patricia. And my experience, and you can certainly speak to that, is we do not give them the opportunity to choose. We choose for them.
That turns into chaos.
And yeah, that's right. So, yeah.
And an idea that I had is I thought, I don't know, maybe at least a handful of spaces could showcase our farms.
Yeah.
So for example, I am an organic berry grower, and then maybe if we can get some lettuce or some of our larger companies, you know, that we're very proud of because we have, you know, these great ag companies here in Salinas. So if we could get them to come out and showcase what is grown here in.
Yeah, Dave had a great suggestion to maybe approach the Old Town Salinas Foundation Farmers Market. We'll look at that. But I think we decided early on that we do want to set aside some space for displays. So Tom, as you visit with Patricia and lay the spaces out, maybe if there's a break every 7 spaces, that can coincide with a display of some sort. So whether it be equipment or, you know, antique vehicles and things like that.
Does the separation have to be vacant?
Yes.
It's like a fire break, I think.
I can get you contact, do you know Candy, Tom?
Tom, and then any last questions before we keep moving?
Interactive presentations, like kids.
Yep, it's in the application. So
some of the things that is required.
Perfect. I see Mandy already writing on the application. Perfect. Like if you have suggestions and you have experience with this, please, like right away, we need that feedback because this form is going to go live pretty quick here. So then with that, turn it back over to Ricky for the children's area. Did you have anything you wanted to add? You have a big swath there.
We still have to have our meeting, our next Tuesday morning. So once we have that, by the next meeting, we'll have a good breakdown of how we want that experience to go. So.
Awesome. And just so for folks have that background on this area on the map that says Kids Zone will not just be Salinas City Elementary School District, it will also encompass the Monterey County Arts Council. So they're working in tandem to see to it that children's activities and displays, along with a stage and some performing art, as well as visual art, will be a part of that. So very excited about that. Okay. And that goes hand in hand into the next piece, and that's where we just have the arts component. I did hear from Juan Carlos. He was sorry he couldn't make it. He was going to try. But I think it's also important that Karen Lee comment a little bit. Anything that you may have to add, I should add you to this as a point person.
Yeah, because I
think you are the point person at this point.
I think so. I don't have an update, but I can get in touch with Juan Carlos, and maybe we should talk too, because we can figure out what that should be, but definitely.
Okay. And I think the interest is to live art, any art expositions that could be made possible.
Sure.
This parlays into certainly something that Enid could add as we go through this, but yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'll touch base with Juan Carlos.
Okay.
I'll do that tomorrow, actually.
If you're going to hang art, make sure that what you're hanging it from is really securely anchored to the ground.
Okay.
And that whatever's hung is really secured tightly to whatever's going to be put into the ground.
Right.
A lot of people make the mistake of thinking that, you know, there's no wreaths outside. It seems like a gentle breeze comes out of the gale force.
Yeah, I was going to say, we get a lot of wind. It's going to that's a good reminder.
Yeah, and the chain link fence around the railroad, that's available for hanging.
No, point taken. And so along
What's
those
the
lines,
location on the map for that?
as of right now, we have a stage in front of the railroad cars.
Okay.
That could very well be, you know, an arts cultural, and we could do something fun there. So
Okay.
of spook out a little bit into the parking.
It could, and that'll provide some
Parking lot and stuff.
reprieve from the wind. So if there's an arts activity, I know the Arts Council has a traveling kind of fun activity type stuff you have, so you could make that kind of
We
thing.
have a long link, chain link there, that's right against the sidewalk.
And that chain link fence, perfect. So
Yeah, that you can
I'm
strap
just
something
noting,
over the
Tom,
top
maybe
and
we can
bottom.
make that, yeah. And again, I will say this probably 2 or 3 times through the meeting. If you need money, be sure to let Tom and I know. You have until the end of the year, so if you come here with something creative, if we need anything that could cost money, letting us know would be key. And that's a good transition into logistics. You know, I kind of have Greg here, Rob, you know, Tom's played a hand in this as well. I mean, we have a use permit that's going through the city. Given the city's like our lead sponsor, we're counting on no hard costs with that. That might take some arm twisting, but generally speaking, I think the map speaks to what our event's going to look like. There will need to be some signage, some parking lot closure and road reorientation, but again, if everything goes smooth, we'll take care of that.
I was going to mention, say, the parking lot over here by the seed company, that would be a good one to block off for vendors and for like the mayor's house, the railroad museum, for those of us that are volunteers that are going to be here with us the whole day.
Yep, I appreciate you bringing that up.
You're not going to appreciate having to walk 4 or 5 blocks to get over.
No. I think vendor parking, certainly we have handicap parking, which is great, but you know, volunteer parking, those sorts of things, very important. So I made a note of that, and I see Greg made a note. Other feedback?
So that just brings up the question, if everyone's going to be parking on the streets, is the city going to write tickets?
Yeah. I'm sure the city will still be writing tickets, yes. Now the good news is, as I think we talked about earlier, we have Sacred Heart Church. And if you've been there on a Sunday, they have 1,000 people that attend that church. And I'm sure that they're not all getting tickets. We have the parking garage, we have Lot 10, we have the American Supply Company, the Granary. We're going to do everything we can to encourage public transportation. You know, so very important we stress this. And
That's a lot of parking.
It's a lot of parking, and I'm glad we're talking about it.
If there's that, you may need like some crossing guards, and if you're going to have booze in this whole area, typically the city's going to want rent-a-cops or somebody's got security.
Moving on to other stuff, waste and recycling is looking good. Or you
I have a question on logistics. How early are we going to be able to set up the booth?
So this place will be rocking at 6 a.m. And I think on the vendor form, what did we put, Patricia? They need to be set up by, is it 8 o'clock? So yeah, at the absolute latest. So 6 a.m. to 8 a.m. coffee and donuts and Congress. Okay, so waste recycling, we're looking in there. Dave Clark's here, I'm glad he is, and Dave's agreed to take some photos. We have a few other folks as well, including the Salinas City Elementary School District. There's a young man that's at Millennium Charter named Jonathan Rome that I think will be our video guy. So that's good. I've seen his work, it's really good. So there's also a note, you know, that went out about VIPs. Sal Munoz is working with the mayor's office to let everyone know that Founders Day is here. You know, he's really hoping to see that our sister cities send people. We're certainly going to send them formal invitations on the mayor's letterhead. It doesn't hurt. And then I would just want to touch on the website as well. We have a URL. If you go to it, it's under construction. And some of you may have noticed we have a logo too. It's kind of low res and probably a little hard to read for some of you, but generally speaking, you get the idea. Thank you, Carrie, for printing that out. Yep, start using it. And I will get it in high res with my notes. So when it goes out, you will get a copy of it, put it on your website, and also our website, which is on the agenda as well. It's registered, and if you go there, it says it's under construction, but within another couple of days, it should be live. SalinasFoundersDay.org. So that's the appropriate link. And while we're at it, I might as well turn it back over to Ricky because we have a Facebook page.
Yeah, I got a Facebook page, I got a Gmail account, so I kept everything consistent, so it's going to be SalinasFoundersDay@gmail.com. You can find us on Facebook at Salinas Founders Day. You can also get us on Instagram also at Salinas Founders Day. So I'm going to start populating the page with some content. I'll also post stream it to Instagram, so we'll be able to get everything going here in the next couple weeks.
Cool.
And then Dave, I love Dave and his group, so we're definitely going to need you to support that also.
Yeah. Yeah. Any content folks have, photos, or anything else, send Ricky's way, and I'll make sure that's in the notes.
Be sure to post anything you want on that group.
Yes, sir.
At the last meeting, there was talk about the vault that's printing in the chamber publication or something, all the pictures and things, right? Can't we share? They should definitely go on.
Yes. Love that. Please. Please, please, please. So there's a connection there. I see Tom and Ricky winking at one another, so we gotta connect with folks. Okay, so moving on along, there was a few other things we already talked about. The Founders Day dinner, the event program is being worked up by Carol McKibben. As we get closer, there'll be like a little one page that has a map and has the various, activities and stuff. So just get excited about that. We talked about doing a poster and a t-shirt. T-shirts eat up a lot of budget. I just know that from experience, and you don't always sell out. But I'm just going to throw it out there and reassure myself that everybody wants to buy 100 t-shirts at $8 a piece. Okay.
I don't think so.
Just by consensus, thumbs up for the t-shirt, thumbs down for the t-shirt. Okay. What about an event poster? We still want to do that, right? Okay, so the event poster should be here by January. We can start hanging it up. That's good. If there's any other swag that people want, like maybe a hand towel or...
How about a banner across Main Street that goes up the 1st of January that says, Happy 150th birthday, Salinas.
Oh, people really want to put a banner across Main Street. I know, we're working on that.
Okay.
I'll get back to you on that.
Yeah.
But any other... Okay,
well, maybe in front of this, the front of the
okay, do we need any swag, I guess is what... No t-shirts, just the poster's good. Okay, moving on to other news. The rodeo. The rodeo's come up. Several people have asked me, what's the rodeo going to do? Are they bringing live animals? So there is a request for like a steer or something. You don't need to make it like a petting zoo, but people want hay and they really like see the rodeo. It's like, so maybe small, I don't know, just a horse even, but...
That's a liability and kind of hard logistics.
Maybe a stuffed live animal or dead animal?
Yeah. We have some ideas that did involve live animals. There was a lady here last time that had a connection to a petting zoo, but we are not doing a petting zoo.
Okay, no petting zoo.
So,
well, I was going to ask, specifically, maybe the kids zone, or maybe even just as your guys' exhibit, that in your area there near the entrance during the rodeo where you had the mechanical bull, the padded thing, and
in the kids' crowd, or the bull
just
crowd?
outside of it.
I know, like, that's not the kids' area.
Just outside of
That's 21 over.
It was a bull that had this.
Oh, then they used to be able to sit on and take photos?
Yeah.
We don't have that anymore, but I could try to get it. That's gonna cost money.
Manny, between now and the end of the year,
Okay.
let me know how much money you need, and I just hope it's not more than $500. We'll raise some money, but
But other than that, we do have those little like bouncy horses that we were gonna bring, and we have like there could be races and stuff, and then we have stick horses, and we have roping dummies so people can rope, and I hope to staff it, but then I have volunteers that know what they're doing to help with that, and then have some kind of display of some sort. I don't know if we can actually remove things from the museum, but we could do some hay and different things like that. So,
okay.
yeah.
And I guess leading into the other sort of special combination, that's our local ag industry. There was mention about highlighting local farming, and I went to the 100th. In fact, Anita, myself, we took a little crew, and we had a really good time. It was a very, very impressive event. Norm did an amazing job, and I know you had some great pictures. You had some tilt-ups and stand-ups and photos, and do you plan to...
Yeah, I'm trying to work that out now. We do have great photos. The problem is blowing them up to the quality of pictures taken 50 and 100 years ago is not that great.
Okay.
So I'm trying to figure out what's the best way to display all that at this point. Okay. So I'm working on that, and I do have access. I've also got a commitment from Grower Shipper to have photos from their archives too, so we can combine them. But I think I've got more than enough photos to make a good-looking display out of it. And then we were also thinking about maybe getting some of the local processors to get some displays out there too, so they can show real live what we're doing.
There's some fun antique equipment and machinery that's in the community, and so there's
space.
I know it does. So we just have to really think about that.
I was trying to reconcile that against putting up a display of pictures and having the historical part of it, and then having a big ass tractor in there too.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Understood.
I think at least one big tractor would be cool though.
Yeah.
Like, it's such a huge part of this area that to at least have one.
Okay, people want a tractor, they'll take it old, they'll take it, yeah, good. Okay.
And then speaking of pictures, I think it would be cool, I don't know if you would do it as a vendor or to have like an old time photo booth where people can dress up and take a picture. You know?
And there's a couple of people having those machines though.
Yeah, I'll make a note of that.
That you put the clothes on and you
Yeah.
oh yeah.
The wardrobe and everything.
That would be awesome.
We did it for our 99th party. It was really cool.
Yeah, Glenn McDowell has a booth, and okay, it's a thought. I'll reach out to him.
On those old pictures, Norm, if you project them instead of blowing them up.
Well, I thought of that too, and then I got our space to do that.
Yeah, sometimes that eliminates the quality.
Right. Well, I did that for our slideshow and ours, and it worked out pretty darn well.
Awesome. They were
projecting them, came out okay.
So I scanned all the Monterey County Historical Society photos, and I scanned them actually into 600 DPI. So if you do it multiplied by 2, then 300 DPI is the best you can do for print. But if you go 600, you blow it twice the size, you still save the quality. So try to see the options in your scanner and see if you can get the highest DPI resolution to scan it into your computers.
Good.
Okay. All right.
Before we open it up, I do want to call on CSUMB. They're a new partner here this year, or this meeting, I guess I should say. That's good. So maybe just the last couple of things. I am in touch with Irma. She's recruiting volunteers. She wanted me to announce that if anybody has volunteers in mind, sons, daughters, grandsons, whatever, send them her way. She's got a database that exists. That'd be good. Also, sponsorships still looking good. But again, as we get closer, we're going to call on each and every one of you to call on your organizations. Gary, if you're in touch with Barbara, be sure to let her know. I'm hoping she's making the rounds. When she left last meeting, she was all excited, and she got in her Cadillac and said, I'm going to go around and take these forms, and I can't wait. And just check in with her and let her know we gave her some love. We're not hurting, but I have a feeling that with this call for money, people are going to come back with requests, and I hope they do, because we want to make this event great. So with that,
Steve, real quick,
yeah.
if you need to build some ads and put them on the Facebook page, maybe for like $5 or whatever, Facebook ads, I can definitely do that.
You bet. No, I appreciate that. And certainly as we get closer, ads, I think we got some interest from Ruth Andreessen. I think she came after Mandy with her marketing ideas, and then Mandy sent her back my way, which is all good.
I was like, what's going on?
Mandy's like, I'm in charge of marketing. We can talk a little bit as we get closer to the event. We'll have to put together a little bit of a marketing plan. 4x8 signs around town, 20 or 30 of them. Obviously our websites, Facebook, and then print and television and radio to the extent that they will donate. That's kind of what we're working off of. We probably don't have more than about $1,500 to work with, and we can do it.
And I'm a graphic designer, so if we need to get it done for nothing, then we'll do it.
And Star Market will put the flyers in their bags for free.
Good.
Oh, nice.
Cool.
And I think the paid social ads will be.
Yes.
Even if it's not a ton of money.
Yeah. No. Just this meeting alone, by each and every one of us sharing it, before we're done, right here, this is where we take a picture and we you missed out on the most exciting meeting ever. Here we go. Come on, go over here. Yay! So, tag your friend, share it, let them know we're going to the dinner at the Steinbeck House. So, we're kind of near the end here, and that's where I definitely want to open it for everyone. I'm really, really glad that Enid and Teresa could be here. As some of you know, CSUMB is really investing in our city center. The arts and cultural program that they have is just amazing. And she had a few creative ideas, and I said, well, we're ready to turn you loose. As you can see, we put a bunch of people up here, and we count on them to make it happen. Do you want to just share?
Yeah, sure. So Steve and I had this really fun meeting last week, and I just want to say I'd love to, anyone, if you need help with like the children's areas or the arts areas or figuring out photos, that's, I'm happy to help. I'm an artist and I have children. So those are the things I know about. The ideas that I had been thinking about was how could our new center, I've been there for about 11 weeks and we've had a big exhibition already. We have another one opening on Tuesday we're really excited about, so I hope you'll come. It's free. And was thinking about what could we do to support Founders Day without creating some, like we don't create a competing event, or you're doing such awesome exhibitions at your sites. So two ideas that I had, and one was from a meeting I had with Trish Sullivan about her history phone project, which never really went live. I don't know if you know about it, but you could walk downtown and call a number and then get a history. And I thought, well, this is just so cool and the infrastructure's here, so why don't we, CSUMB students and community partners, I've talked to a couple community partners, relaunch it on Founders Day and start here, and then you can walk around downtown and do a tour. And that way it wouldn't compete with anything y'all are doing, and it could keep going. Like it's something that we would see, it's like a gift to the community that's evergreen, and have it be in 2 languages, at least. If we can get it in more, that'd be really awesome. And so I think that'd be really fun and dynamic. So that's one thing, and maybe it'll relate to some of the archival photos you guys are working with, and we could work that out. Use the history writing in 2 ways. And the second idea I had came out of watching, honestly, like watching the conflagration around the name of Salinas City Center, Old Town, Downtown, and it's just so, like, it's so Facebook, popcorn. So then I thought, I like place names. I think they're really interesting, and an interesting thing about Salinas is, like, we have this weird place name thing. Like, there's the 3 names here, the East Side, is it the Alisal? Like, now there's the whole Confederate Corners fun conversation that we're having. And I thought, I'm working with another museum, and got input from them about creating a big like cork map of Salinas, like made out of cork, and getting these tags, and so that people can add their names, and that we can sort of even use gels to kind of differentiate different districts, and have it at Founders Day, and then move it into our rotunda so that people can keep doing. I think it could be really positive, and like interesting, and then all of those place names have histories, and that's something we could turn into an exhibition maybe for next Founders Day or something like that, So those are what I was thinking of for our contribution to Founders Day that would hopefully enhance what you guys are doing and relate to it, and then maybe keep growing afterwards.
Great. Thank you for contributing that. We're near the end. I just wanted to give those ideas some light, and I'll include that in the notes, and to the extent you can flesh them out. You heard earlier, if there's a budget request, let us know by the end of the year. Again, we're on a shoestring, but we'll do what we can, because both those ideas are very, very good. 2 other things, maybe just in closing. I do want to reiterate that we have chosen the First Mayor's House for our matching gift. So built into our budget is a $2,500 allocation to the First Mayor's House, and they are going to come up with something creative that they can present to the community at large at the event on the 14th. So very excited about that. And really more than anything, I had a couple of random things. Some people might have seen in the, I think it was the Herald, that the county's going to eliminate their historian position. I don't know what we can do about that. Maybe it's the Historical Society, but this sort of event goes hand in hand with the commitment of our local government to really honor our history. And so if you have thoughts on this, feel free to drop me an email. I might I'll send a link out to this to everyone, and I'll also send who you could send an email to if you feel so moved, and you can CC myself. Also, I can't help but want to mention there's a few cool things that are coming up. On the 11th, with CSUMB at City Center, I'm having a community meeting at City Hall about our downtown, our city center, our old town, whatever you want to call it. This would be a very good visit. There's flyers in the back. Also, another fun event for our community that I just couldn't help but want to promote that I've been doing for 7 years, I'm chairing it again, is a holiday home lighting tour. We meet at the Kmart parking lot. It's free. You get on buses. We sing songs. We pass out champorado and burritos, and we drive all over the city. And we look for, well, we look at, because there's entries, holiday home lighting. And it's very, very good if you've lived here a long time, because you see the LaSalle, the north side, and the south side all in 2 hours, sometimes 2.5. And it's just very eye-opening. And there's a lot of bling out there. So there's some of these flyers in the back. Now here's why I am announcing it now, because it has not gone live on Facebook yet. And there's still seats available, but once it closes up, it closes. So you get the early announcement. I think that's it. I left some other information in the back if you want to look at it. I'm just really delighted that everybody could be here. You know, we're here for an hour. We got a lot done. And this is in the name of our community. And we've got so many great partners. So certainly as you see yourself tagged, as you see the next event or meeting announcement come up, spread the word. Because the more people we have engaged in this, the better. Any closing comments or... Oh, let me ask, yeah, this is good. Thank you, Dawn. I put at the bottom of the agenda December 21. Now, I'd like to start meeting monthly. I don't want anybody to get too crazy about that. I know it's Christmas, and I'll just ask everybody to bring Christmas cookies if they want. You know, so is everybody okay with this?
I'll bring the hot cider.
Mary's bringing cider. Anybody want to bring cookies? Oh my gosh, Tom and Patricia, great. So we have cider and cookies, and we'll have Wes dressed up as Santa.
I'm growing into it.
So then we will meet December 21st if you can make it. And then we'll meet monthly after that, usually towards the end of the month, okay? I'll send notes out. Thanks for coming.
Thank you.